Well, good morning. Hi. This is Lynn Mish and Jess Ardeal, and we're here to welcome you to the billion dollar body. I can't even say it this morning. So, how are you this morning, Miss Jess?
I just absolutely love connecting with you, Lynn. Thank you for setting this up so that we can talk and invite you in to listen, because this really is about you, the listener. And one of the favorite parts for me about when we do connect, Lynn, is that you, with your background in nursing and education, work very much in the physical body with people, and in the emotional energetic capacity that I work with people. We really are quite the dynamic duo in integrating the physical and emotional energetic bodies. And that's really what we're here to talk about today, is to talk about your $1 billion body. What is a $1 billion body? And yes, I promise you have one. Lynn, what's your takeaway with when we do connect with ourselves and our vital organs and systems? What's the one thing people will get from that? Because I know there's more than one.
I think that probably the most important piece is to start to connect at a level that you start to understand the body. And I think that that's really truly the most important piece, because I think we're really disconnected from our bodies, and it isn't until we ultimately have some sort of crash and burn that we start to wake up to the fact that we are walking around in this amazing machine, and that it is probably the most complicated, well built, something that they can't replicate on this planet machine. And it isn't until, and that's where I think over 30 years ago, I came into the world of trying to understand and connect with people at a level that their bodies are the most important piece to their well-being. And it's whatever level you're at, wherever level you come in at when you come into this discussion with us, that I think it's important that you start to understand that there are connections that you need to connect to in the body and start to listen to, because the body's always trying to communicate with you. So, what do you think, Jess?
Well, and to add to that, it really does drive home the point, Lynn, that you are the only one that really knows what you're thinking or feeling in your body, right? And so to form more of that intelligent bond with ourselves and with these parts of our bodies, as they say, we're the managers of our bodies, and a little care and attention can go a long way. And that's why I'm so thrilled to team up with you and invite people into this community of support and honoring our body and really learning what it takes to invest in ourselves at a level where we can get free resources from nature and connecting back to the basics, so that we're driving home feeling safe and comfortable in our bodies again. There's a lot of judgment and belief systems to break through. And once we get to the origin and the communication between these parts of ourselves, I think that's really when life starts to open up in a really magical way.
I so agree. And the other thing that I think is really important, in what I work with patients every day, I think one of the most important elements in all of this is that as a practitioner, I've learned that you need to really listen to that other person. You really need to listen, because I can't tell you. I'm an educator. I have a tremendous knowledge base, and so do you. And I think that the important thing in all of this is to really connect to that other person, as we will connect in this group, in this community, and to really understand or help people to understand that it is their journey and their process. And it is about opening the segue and the doors to a greater understanding, but it's the work that they need to do, the people that are joining this community, because we can put it out there for them. We can put it out there and educate them, which I find all the time with people that I work with all the time, patients, years and years of patients that I've cared for. But the thing that I always do is I always sit down and meet with them, because they have to tell me what their process is. And I think it's really what we're going to do is to bridge that gap, so that there's a better connection to that, so that they can really truly make that connection to self and open those doors to a better sense of well-being, purpose, and love for themselves. Because I think that's the element that's so important in all of this. So
And two, having that dialogue with the professional in healthcare that you're partnering with, so that you are working with the person that's going to support you the most, right? There's a lot of choices out there. There's a lot of contradictory information. And I think there's a lot of fear that keeps us holding in the same patterns. So this is really an opportunity for us to break through and come together to understand there's more we're walking around with that we can access. And so when we access that energy potential, to me, that's really exciting. That's what life is about, the possibilities and what else is possible, and going beyond what we think we know to find out even more, and then apply that to how we're living. It just brings another dynamic to life when we can understand more about our bodies. And I think that's the value of it, is where your $1 billion body comes from, is we have so much value, each of us as individuals. And it's time we start to see that and really own it.
oh, I love that. I just love that. That's just an amazing comment, because the truth in it is that. And then the other piece that you touched on that I think is so valuable is that there's a couple of pieces. There's the one about fear and the one about patterns. And I think we get caught in the same consistency. There's a certain amount of consistency that happens every day in the, I always say we're creatures of habit. When you think about what we do in a 24-hour period, you could probably follow someone and see the same patterns every day. And it's really understanding that life is an adventure, and it's fun to break out of those patterns, and it's fun to increase in awareness so that you can do that. You can really connect to this amazing body and be aware of the amazing things that it can do for you, and the amazing things that you can do for it or yours. I mean, it's funny to call the body it, because it's
No, I mean, that's exactly it, right? Ask not what your body can do for you, but what you can do for your body. It's time we really start to work in concert with this amazing organism, and what we can do to make those little investments that are going to add up to more flexibility in our retirement age, right? So that we're comfortable and enjoying life when that time comes, since we're caught up in the hustle and bustle. But everybody is at different levels. And I think that's what is most important to acknowledge, is we're all going to get there in our own time, and it's about honoring each other on our own individual journey, right? So there's just so much to really marvel at. And I think with so much going on outside and the craziness of what we see in the world, like, let's take it in, let's come together and go within and explore a new world.
Oh, I love it. And I think the other thing that's really amazing is that to recognize, because I work with patients every day that are really honoring their lives on different levels. And I think the thing to honor and recognize is to really look at the fact that we are a novice each and every day, that when we get a new day, that it's a new beginning. And in that new beginning, you get to explore, you get to learn, you get to grow, you get to have all of these amazing experiences if you allow yourself to go there. If you allow yourself to bridge into that whole process of, this is a journey, this is it can be thrilling, it can be a lot of different things. And as you live each day, when you wake up in the morning, you're a novice. By the end of the day, you're an expert in that day. And so if you expend your energy learning to grow into each and every day, you're going to have a well-lived life, I think. And that's one of the most important pieces that I think together as a team, we want to bring forward to the people that we'd love to join our community and work with.
And the patients that you see, Lynn, are dealing in life and death situations and circumstances. And really, we can talk about the light and the excitement, but there's also that very real life and death piece. And how can we create that infinite health, which I love your symposium, Creating Infinite Health. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, people, creatinginfinitehealth.com, where you're bringing together integrative professionals that get it. And I think when more of us come together in that capacity of understanding, because we're not looking to create conflict. Quite opposite, we're looking to take that conflict out of the body and de-stress. And so this is going to feel good to be in a group of like-minded individuals that know there's more pieces of the puzzle to put together. And so how fun to come together and take a look at a bigger picture and what else can we see. So I know that you, the individual listening, are such a part of this journey already. Thank you for tuning in and being here and popping on. And if you're hearing us now, there's a reason for it. And we'd love to come together and take it even further. So,
you know what? It was funny. It's funny because I was just, as I'm listening to this, my dog stepped in behind me, and she was drinking water, and I was thinking about your symposium, about pet, you know, being the pet therapist and pet talk and all that kind of thing. And I was really, it was really funny because it was you that gifted me the process in connecting at a level that it allowed me to come forward with a lot of the different people that I worked with, as with you, because we believe passionately, I think, about helping others at all different levels. And you know, it's interesting because your pet therapy conversations with people were amazing as well. And as my dog was drinking water, I was thinking, as you're talking, the importance of water in our bodies, you know, and here she's stepping up to the plate, drinking water, and you can hear in the background. So it's like, it's the reality of the moment. You know, we're here in the moment with you. We're here in the moment honoring what's going to be happening, and hopefully we'll all grow together, because I think it's that human exchange. It's that experience in the human condition. And it's really, you know, when I work with people every day, as you mentioned, I worked with a patient years ago. He was a cute little old man, and I was working in a cardiac unit, and he looked at me and he said, you know, honey, he said, you might as well have a good time because you ain't getting out of this one alive. And I thought, you know, what a wonderful, wise kind of, you know, encapsulation of this whole process, because here he is, and his life was very fragile, but he had a wonderful sense of humor, and he was learning and knowing to live life well. And that's, you know, we're living in the kitchen right now, and there goes my coffee machine. But anyway, so to live life well and to be in the moment and be present with all of it, because I think that's probably the best gift that we have, and the best gift that not only will we share with each other, because I'm so glad we get to work together, but with the people that hopefully will join our community. So it's really fun.
absolutely. And there's so much that I want to touch on, but yes, come and join our $1 Billion Body Community Group. And you can reach out via email. Bodyclearing@gmail.com is one way, or you can call toll free at 877-757-3223. And we can talk more and see if this is going to be a fit for you. You know, one of the pieces is, we don't know what's going to happen until it does, right? Time will tell. And there's a lot that can come up in the year. And so I think it's important to have the systems of support in place where you have a safe place. Build that safety for yourself and feel into what that's like, because we don't get a human being handbook. And I like to think of your $1 Billion Body as a start to that, as a start to understanding more about ourselves and our bodies and what we can do here with them while we have them.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's a wonderful plan. And I love the $1 Billion Body. And I love the fact that I think you have to start with an understanding of the connection to the body in order to grow in all different kinds of levels, because we're multifaceted human beings. You know, we have the basics of this body. It's like when you get into the fact of just good nutrition and all the different pillars of, I think, where the human body is at, it allows you to do the work to go on to do the more interesting things as far as the spirituality, the, you know, mental wellness, you know, getting away from the fear of not being good enough, you know, all those different kinds of things that I think we get incorporated, and it sits in the cells of our body. And I think it's really important to start to understand and know that we can make connections in the body, and know that we can allow the body to do the work so it can release a lot of the information so that we can heal. And I think no matter where you are in your journey in this, in the process of, even in a disease state, which I work with people that are often challenged on many different levels with, particularly right now I'm working with cancer patients. But, you know, when I look at them and I look at the threads of their life as they weave together this really intricate tapestry of life, and how they're challenged by their disease process, but they're not owned by it. And I think that's the important thing, is to really understand that you're not owned by the disease. It isn't something that you live with it, just like you live with your family or you live with other things, but it's really to understand that you have the power and the connection to make and understand that you have this amazing life in front of you, no matter where you are in the journey with it. And that's the piece that's the most powerful and the most important. And that's the piece that I think, or the pieces that we want to put in the puzzle for you and help you to grow and learn and connect and really give yourself the opportunity to have blessings in this billion-dollar body.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if this is the first time you're seeing us, I am Jessica Ardeel. My company is Body Clearing, and I do energy work. I mainly work with women and pets, family dynamics as well. But my favorite piece is working one-on-one with women who are ready to go into those depths of themselves and really see all parts, you know, and it's not just about all being in the light. It's about going into that darkness sometimes and getting your strength in that. And I love the components you bring in with the nutrition, Lynn. And I would introduce you, but go ahead. If this is the first time people are hearing from us, go ahead and tell them who you are and what you do.
Oh goodness, I always say I've had an amazing career that's been guided by divinity, I think. And I always say God has a sense of humor because he brought me into nursing. And I tell my patients that a lot. I've had the pleasure of being in nursing for probably well over 30 years now. I'm a nurse practitioner, an educator. I have my own practice called Mission Inspired Health that I do at home, but I also work with cancer patients out in the real world. And so I work with a variety of patients. I work with, particularly I'm working with breast cancer patients right now, but I do work with a variety of different patients. I also am a breast cancer survivor. So I'm 12 years out as of New Year's Day. And I had the pleasure of meeting Jess in this whole process when I decided that I was not only going to do traditional treatment, but I was going to do integrative treatment. And so I met Jess and her wonderful mom, Suzanne, and it allowed me the opportunities to really explore an integrative process in healthcare and an integrative process in my own body. And it opened up so many different doors into understanding the capacity of healing, the capacity of energy and energy medicine, the capacity of how the blend of both worlds works together and not separate. And so I think it's really a lot of opportunity that I have gotten to, not only in my own life, but in the lives of others, to explore. You can reach me at LAMish, MISCH, at att.net. And that's probably the easiest way to reach me. Email is always good, and I'm quick and easy with email. So that's a nice way to do it. So please join us. We'd love to hear from you, and let's move forward into the billion-dollar body.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And more to come soon.
So what do you think? Onward. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.